is the master agreement, section 5A1, failure to pay or deliver. In the previous video, we are introduced to section 5A, events of default. As this section has many subsections and is exhaustive, we'll continue with our learning in this video and the subsequent videos. In the current video or session, we are going to learn about the subsection 5A1, which is failure to pay or deliver. Here is an extract of section 5A1, failure to pay or deliver, from 2002 is the master agreement. Now I will read the extract. Failure by the party to make when due any payment under this agreement or delivery under section 2A1 or 9H2 or 4 required to be made by it if such failure is not remediated on or before the first local business day in the case of any such payment, or the first local business day in the case of any such delivery after. In each case, notice of such failure is given to the party. This clause states if there is a breach of payment or delivery obligations, there is a grace period of one local business day from the day the notice is given. The notice needs to be given. If the non-defaulting party does not give, the grace period will never start. The grace period is 3 local business days as per the 1992 is the master agreement. However, this is now reduced to 1 local business day in 2002 is the master agreement. From a credit support documents perspective, failure to pay or deliver is only applied to English Law Credit Support Annex, in which there is a transfer of collateral. This is not applicable under New York Law Credit Support Annex and English Law Credit Support Deed. Here is the section 2A1, which is referring to the payment or delivery specified in each confirmation. This is a normal payment. And with regards to section 9H1, 2 and 4, with respect to it is with respect to the compensation for defaulted or deferred deliveries. Section 9H deals with various provisions and scenarios of interest and compensation for various payments and delivery obligations. This is a new provision specific to 2002 is the master agreement. However, here in section 9H12 deals with the compensation for defaulted deliveries. From the perspective of prior to early termination, this scenario occurs if the party defaults on its delivery obligations in the first instance and later upon the demand pays compensation, and over and above that if it is required to pay interest as agreed in the confirmation or agreement or by law. And section 9H14, which refers to the compensation for deferred deliveries. Deferred deliveries arise when a party does not make delivery as per the scenarios like section 2A3. If you want to know more about section 2A3, kindly refer to the video I have made previously. Again, deferred deliveries can also arise if an illegality or force majeure event has occurred and a waiting period exists or has expired. We will discuss more on this elaborately when we discuss section 9H14. Now let us see the event of default, failure to pay or deliver from 1992 agreement perspective. Here are the extracts from both the agreements. The first difference you will notice is the reduction of grace periods from 3 local business days to 1 local business day in 2002 agreement. And there is an additional wording in 2002 for more clarity. The other major difference you can see is the payment and delivery obligations as per section 2A1 or 9H12 or 4 under 2002 agreement, but under 1992 agreement it is as per section 2A1 or 2E. Section 2A1 is the same in both the agreements, but section 9H12 or 4 is particularly for 2002 agreement, and we have discussed this already. Now, from 1992 agreement perspective, let's see section 2E, which is regarding the default interest and other amounts. This section is not present in 2002 agreement. What section 2E talks about is default interest that is attracted by late payments. Kindly refer to my other video on section 2E for a better understanding. In this video, we have learned the first event of default, failure to pay or deliver. In the next video, we are going to learn about the next event of default, that is section 5A2, which is breach of agreement. I would greatly value your feedback, and you may please send them to derivatives.documentation@gmail.com. You can view the updates of derivatives documentation by subscribing to this channel. Please do like this video and feel free to comment and share on the contents. If you want to learn more about other derivative products and commercial contracts, you may visit my other YouTube channels. Thank you.